Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today. Well, Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. Special thank you to our three guests that were on for last week's show. My father and former Washburn County Sheriff Terry Dryden joined us for the entire show. And then at the end, two of my kids joined us at the end of the show, Kenneth and Raleigh, and they had some trivia questions, which thankfully, because we were doing very poorly in points until they came on. We don't have a guest today, and we don't really have a whole lot on our agenda in terms of things to talk about. So if you have a question or a topic that you would like for us to discuss, please put that in the comments. Could be a very short show. Fitzy, good morning. How are you?
Oh, it'll never be a short show with us. We'll be talking and be like, oh, it's 9:30. Look at that. Right. We usually go from nothing to something really fast.
Yeah. And I think that's, the whole idea that was kind of behind this wasn't just, being a positive thing, but we do write down like a list of, kind of like it's called a show flow type thing. And just, all right, we'll have trivia, then any pressers or something. So just some basic topics. And there's some weeks that are like just really, really heavy. It's like, man, we got to make sure we touch on this and this. And there's other weeks like, this one. We got nothing. Nope. I think we have like one thing I've written down here. Aside from our trivia questions, I only have one thing written down, and that was just your update, what you had put. And our headline was Sheriff Fitzgerald updates community on recent officer-involved shooting. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, since last week, what's new with you, man?
Nothing. Quiet weekend again across the county and for me personally. And now we kick back into hockey and football season, and football practice started for my kid, and college is starting. We were getting my daughter some college books, and so it's all coming together here, and we're rip-roaring ready to go for fall. So we'll be ready to go here shortly. So really kind of the last weekend off.
Yeah, and remind me, are we doing it? Should we take usually the third Tuesday off?
Yeah.
At the end of last week's show, and I didn't register it until I was watching it again, because I just love watching myself talk. I'm just kidding. It's really just to take notes and critique myself. But you had next Tuesday. We're not doing a show next Tuesday. Is that right?
We are not doing a show next Tuesday, I don't think. I'm looking.
Okay.
No, we're not doing a show next Tuesday. I have two meetings.
Got it. And that following Tuesday is the one that we have off. That's for Diane's Kitchen. So this will be our last show. We'll be off for 2 straight weeks. Bizarre.
Oh, man. And then we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, no kidding.
Unless the fans really want us, we'll come back and we'll do a special show.
Okay.
We'll be golfing. We'll do something live at the golf course.
That's right. August 11th. You, Dad, Matt, and I are the DrydenWire goofball team for the Spooner Health fundraiser for Community First Washburn County. So very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are. It'll be a good day.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Again, your arm, my weight, my brother's back, and my dad's old.
We all have an excuse.
It's going to be terrible.
We should put them on the back of our shirts.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So nothing else is going on? That's a good thing, right? It's just been quiet. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's good. We'll, have a couple things to talk about, but really nothing else. So I have an easiest trivia question for you, though, today.
Oh, okay. Fire away.
Okay. Today is Tuesday, August 3rd. What event is happening across the country tonight in just about every jurisdiction in America? If you can get it, because that's what all I've been working on for the last 2 days.
Hold on a second.
Can't write it written down?
No, I just can't remember the exact name of it. It is on the phone because Sheriff Walk sent something and we put it on our website. There, National Night Out.
There you go.
Couldn't remember what the actual. Yeah.
You didn't even need multiple choices, but that's the big thing that's happening across the country tonight. National Night Outs across. Sheriff Walk. I talked to him the other day when he was here for the shooting review panel, actually, and National Night Out. Yep. So we'll be at a lot of different jurisdictions across Barron County. We'll be in Cameron at Mosaic. We'll be at Rice Lake and Moon Lake Park. Barron at the Anderson Park. We'll be at the Turtle Lake Village Park. We'll be at the Shteck Fire Hall. Must be missing one. Cumberland at Endeavor Field. And then Dave Wilson's got one because we got to say Dave Wilson's name every week. So now we got that checked off. And then Sheriff Walk's got one over there. I think his is at the sheriff's department.
Yeah, it's in Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
in Baltimore.
and real quick, I do want to correct. So one of the things I was listening to last week when again, my wife, obviously she's working right now. So when these shows are finished, no matter what show I do, that night my wife and I watch them together. She gets to see it for the first time, and then I can, all joking aside, I really do critique and find out what went well and what didn't. And I did catch something Dad said last time that the sheriff's office in Washburn County wasn't a part of this or doesn't do it. That wasn't actually accurate. I had found out that they actually do. I didn't seek it out, but someone had sent some information. So they are a part of it as well. So just like where we went wrong last time. So, yeah, we kind of screwed that one up.
Doesn't Wilson put it on and they just go? I mean,
I don't know.
We don't
I think so.
We don't put it on either. I mean, we're attending all 6 of them, so I have my people spread out all throughout the municipalities. It first started off. We started the first one in Turtle Lake actually about 13 years ago. Chief Gabi and I started the first actual national night out in Barron County. I mean, not the first one ever in the history, but the first one in Barron County we held. Sure. And then we used to move it around and have one location, and then the hype got picked up. I mean, Chief Gabi in Turtle Lake, they get over 1,000 people that come, and he's giving away. There's 6 TVs he's giving away tonight. There's bicycles. There's prizes.
Giveaways.
Oh yeah, there's free food, free prizes. You get to more playing frisbee with the kids. I mean, it's a party from 5 to 8 tonight, all across the country. Everybody's got prizes and food and different things, and so it's really a
how long about how long do these things last? 2 hours?
5 to 8. 5 to 8.
3.
Well, I'm giving stuff away about 7, and so.
Well, I'm just in my mind's eye. I'm trying to picture a map right now, like Washburn and how many places I could go to in those 3 hours. Yeah. Put my name in to potentially win something. Oh, I can send like Jerusha down to one place. Annalise, my other daughter, she's got a car. She can go and we can increase our odds significantly.
I'm going to try to make 3 of them tonight. That's just tough, which is I spend an hour in each one, but I'm trying to map my route now. But I hope everybody comes out tonight. And it really was created to support law enforcement and to get to know your neighbors and, kind of take back our community. It was started nationally years ago, and so it was really a good thing, and I'm very excited about it, and I thank the people for the support and coming out tonight.
Yeah, I think, Mary, I don't really have the answer to that, but I think Dave Wilson really should be on right now. He's probably sleeping. I think Tuesday morning's his morning off, but I think it's all for Washburn County. It's all in one spot, right? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know the answer to that either. So check their Twitter, Facebook page. Maybe I'll check it. Right here. Well, you asked me the trivia question. I'll look.
Okay, and by the way, that is up to 13. We started the show at -1, and then that was last week. We started the show at -1, but then you got it right, so we had double points. So we're up to +5. I got yours wrong. That was because of Dad. So that took us down to +5. 6, 5, 4. So we're at 10 because we got Kenneth and Rallies right with this one. So we're at 13. Remember, when we get to 25, we're going to do a $25 gift card giveaway. All right. So here's my trivia question, and I even have a bonus trivia question at the end of the show.
Okay.
But this one,
nothing is
yeah, and it's not about DrydenWire, that one, but this one is. What is the average weekly cost to advertise on DrydenWire's DrydenWire.com's most popular ad placements? Now, we have like 11 ad placements. 3 of them are considered like premier. 2 sidebar and this huge banner at the top, but the rest are called banner and footers. That represents 8 of our 11. So what is the average cost to advertise on DrydenWire per week?
Per week?
A week. And this is if you agree to a year, which everybody does because it's so much cheaper. A, less than $100. B, $100 to $199. C, $200 to $299. Or D, more than $300.
A week.
A week.
A,
you are correct. Less than $100.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's all right. We're killing it. We're up to +16.
So
that's good.
So I wish Mike Schaefer was here. I would assume Spooner Health has got one of those premier spots.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Spooner Health puts my kids through college.
So I would hope that you would spend it on you.
Yeah, right. Why do you think we're going to the golf tournament? Oh, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, Fitzy, ICAA announced yesterday
A
that they
million,
are one what?
$1 million.
Yeah, they are one of two Wisconsin organizations to receive a $1 million grant. It's a federal grant focusing on rural health and vaccine hesitancy. This new rural COVID-19 vaccination outreach program focuses on each county's unique reasons for vaccine hesitancy while providing educational outreach to the community to increase vaccination rates. For more information, you can find that news release we put on our website at DrydenWire.com. We put that up yesterday, or just go to ICAA, find them on Facebook, or go to their website at IndianHeadCAA.org.
Yeah, $1 million. That's a big grant. I mean, and I follow DrydenWire. That's how I knew that. So
Yes. Nice. That's a plug. All right. We give one for us, too. That 25, one of those fancy shirts, y'all keep it. Yeah, you know what? Sure. As soon as we get to 25, because I keep putting that on the back burner. When we get to $25, you get a pick, either a Ben and Fitzy show shirt, which we'll have ready by then. It may take us a while to get to that 25, or a $25 gift card. How about that?
yeah, we'll be available for Christmas. We hope.
Right. Just in time for the holidays.
Just in time for the holidays.
So we always like to go into this is the only thing that we have written down. So please, if anybody has a question or a topic that you'd like to talk about, please put that in. Otherwise, when we get finished with this, we're probably just going to shut it down. And that was actually from you, Fitzy. And this was our headline that Sheriff Fitzgerald updates community on recent officer-involved shooting. And this was the first one that you actually had written and sent, because I was watching the news that following morning and I was flipping through channels and it was out of La Crosse. I never watched La Crosse news. I just happened to be on it. And it caught my attention that it referenced you. And it was, I'm not trying to bang on him. It was just, you got to put so much information in like a 30-second, clip. It's the news in the morning. And they kind of got it wrong a couple of times. They had said that these are your opinions and views, but they didn't even reference the panel. So it was your decision. But the biggest one I found interesting was this was the latest update that you have sent following the one that you had published a week earlier or sent out. And that wasn't from you. That was from the DOJ.
Right.
And I don't know, it's news. This is why people don't like media. Just get your facts straight. That's all. Right? God, drives me nuts. All right. So what your update that was on there, you have this interview panel. We had talked about it last Tuesday. You had announced that you were going to be able to say something. You did. Walk us through that.
Sure. Per our policy, for any policy, all the law enforcement officers or agencies in the state have to have this policy. In that policy, you have to have an independent shooting review panel when you use deadly force. And so that shooting review panel is made up of firearms instructors, both internal and external in the department. So our own firearms instructor that trains our people, an external firearm instructor that doesn't train our people, and then it has to be made up of administrators, chiefs of police, sheriffs, whoever. You can pick anybody you want to on that. And yes, I know it seems like but it's independent. They hadn't seen any of the information. In fact, I hadn't seen any of the information either, because the DOJ is doing that report. So we have this independent shooting review panel of 7 people. They interview the people that were involved, and they met and they vote. And then they all vote. Each of them gets an individual vote that says follow policy, follow all training and standards procedures as they're trained. They didn't do something different than their training. And the use of force was justified or unjustified. And they found that it was justified. They followed all the training. And the deputy didn't violate any county policies or sheriff's department policies. So that's what I put out. I took the deputy off paid administrative leave, and he was placed back on duty.
Out of curiosity, I have a couple follow-ups there. I don't know if you can say, maybe it was in there, I don't remember. Was it, so of those 7, and if you don't want to say, that's fine. But what happens if it's a 4-3? And the 4-3 that it was I think Dad had called it a good shoot. It sounds weird to say, but yeah. If it's 4-3, what do you do then? And the second, and maybe this will help answer that first one, is who is this for? Does that go to the DOJ who's investigating? In this scenario, they're investigating. Do they care what this interview panel was? Or is this really just for you, the sheriff?
It's just for the sheriff's department. It says an independent people reviewed our policies. 1, we have good policies. 2, our deputy followed our policies. That's all it does. The DOJ does not care what this panel says. The district attorney does not care what this panel says.
Okay.
But it is part of policies across the nation that a third party looks at it. 1, to make sure your policies fit. Um,
But
so
yeah, don't read
that's
that all
all.
yet. I can
Yeah,
see you just. We'll get
yeah.
to
I'm
that in a
trying.
second, Cheryl.
Yeah. Um, so that's yeah. So the district attorney and the DOJ, the DOJ reports are done or very will be done very shortly. The DA will get that case. I was told in the next 10 days, and then he'll make that review and make that kind of the same determination. He doesn't look at our policies. He looks at the use of force. Is it
Yeah, the
justified or
criminal
unjustified?
aspect, or right.
Right. I mean, did the cop do wrong? And he'll make that determination. So,
Interesting.
and that he'll send out a press release on that, and then that will be the end of the story as far as we're concerned. I mean, I'm satisfied that our deputy did X, Y, and Z, and that's why I pushed the deputy. If the district attorney finds something different, and a lot of departments do it both ways. They leave the person off of on administrative leave until the district attorney makes a ruling.
Hmm.
Sometimes that can take a while. I don't think in this case it will, but I made the decision to put the officer back. I didn't feel he did anything wrong
Mm,
based on the information I had and the interviews that we conducted and did.
sure,
So it's independent of the DOJ. The DOJ was not at the shooting review.
sure.
Uh, they didn't provide us the reports. We interviewed officers directly. These people, these sheriffs, these police chiefs, these instructors get to ask direct questions. They can ask any question they want of the person that's in front of them. So it's kind of like a trial. I don't know.
Sure,
It's
sure.
an
No, I get
interview,
what you're
but
saying. Do you, when you make that decision? I mean, you and I have, we have wildly different jobs, but we have found a lot of commonalities or similarities. When you announced this, I know we had published it. I'm sure other media outlets published it or a version of it. um, what kind of feedback did you get from the community? Were there some that are questioning it? Was it mostly positive, or didn't really receive anything?
I know a lot was positive. I mean, it
Okay.
was all positive and surprising in today's world. Usually, I can say the sky is blue, and you get some sort of pushback, one way or the other on that. So no, it was all positive. I think we've been very transparent, as I've always tried to be transparent in this, and as
Hmm.
transparent as I can be, because I'm not in control of this
Right.
investigation, which is kind of different, and rightfully so. It shouldn't be my. I don't want it to be the sheriff's department says, "Oh, that cop was my best friend," and I don't want it to be that way. I don't want it to show. I want it to be as impartial as it can be. This part, you can say wasn't impartial. I can say it was. I trust these people. They stake their reputations on their line when they vote, so to speak, and it was
Yeah.
unanimous. I mean, it was a unanimous
Oh.
vote. Everybody felt it was, um, 7-0. So
Oh.
that's about all I mean it can
Yep.
say. I mean,
Yep.
but it was very positive for the deputy that was involved, and obviously he's been named. Um, and there'll be more things coming down the line,
Sure.
and so we'll wait for those to happen. But right now we're back to normal here, and we feel we have good policies, good training, good practices in place, and we feel our deputies did everything they could have done to remedy the situation, and
Hmm.
ultimately had to use force. That is not
Sure.
something we want to do. That is not
Yeah.
something, but we have to be prepared for that. If you and I are at in the mall tomorrow and something happens, you can run and hide. I'm going to run towards, whatever's going on. And so that's the difference in law enforcement. That's how we're trained, and we have to react to certain things. And sometimes it sucks.
Yeah. Dad, obviously you can't speak for this unless Dad, if he's still watching, wants to get in it more. Um, getting him back to work is a good thing in this case. Obviously, you can't speak for Dad, and hopefully, Dad, if you're still watching, if you could kind of explain that a little bit further, we should have had him back on for this. But is there, maybe not even in this specific case, but are there times where, especially you go through this whole process, where it's good for that deputy, especially after like this interview panel and is unanimous and et cetera, and is that good? That back to work? Is that a mental health thing? Is it a health thing? Is it actually it's better if they just kind of stay away for the whole thing?
Well, I think it depends on the officer and the deputy. I think you base it individually. Some people might want some more time to adjust. Some people might not. Some people say, I want to get back on the horse right away. So it's very individualized. It's
Sure.
very, each of us handle situations differently, and so you look at the mental health of the officer, the the community, I don't know what the word is, but the community, temperature out
Yeah,
there
the
and
pulse of the community, and certainly now is there a scenario, and hopefully these things will never happen again. The odds are they
right.
will, but in Barron, it's not likely. It's not going to be a monthly occurrence. Is
No,
there a
not
situation? And again, this will be the last thing I'm asking about it. Just I'm flooded with a whole bunch of questions now.
right.
Is it a scenario where it was, yep, I found no wrongdoer or this panel and et cetera, and I came to a conclusion? If that individual, and maybe not in this one, let's just say any scenario, that it was you can come back to work and they said no, I just can't, for their own, like you just said, everyone's a little bit different. Is that something that you're tough luck, get back to work?
Well, no, I mean, I've never experienced that, so no. And
Yeah.
in this deputy's case, he didn't. He wants to come back to
Okay.
work. He, but I don't. We deal with that. I mean, people
Sure.
handle things differently, and we would
Yeah.
deal with that. We have in a EAP, an employee assistance program that we walk people through before and after
Okay.
high stress incidents, whether this incident or any a serious car accident. We have an EAP program which works out really well. With Holly Hicks would be a great person to have on here to talk about EAP for law enforcement. She was a dispatcher. Her husband was a Chippewa Falls police officer, and she runs a Hicks Wellness Solutions now, and she does this for departments, debriefs, things like that, and she does a great job. She's worked with us in during the Russ County incident with Dan Glaze, things like that. I mean, Holly's been part of our team here at the Sheriff's Department for a long time. So she worked with the Kloss case. She was here and just provided resources to deputies that
Mm.
are going through some tough times, whether it's personal or professional. I mean, personal problems can affect what happens in your professional life. So we
Oh,
want people to be, good. If you're having a bad day, I mean, that's why we created this program, is just to talk about some things, become more transparent, and have some positive spin on, kind
yeah,
of a bad time and with COVID and etc. So
yeah,
we did it to have a little fun and get some information out to some people.
yeah. I'll put this on the screen so you can read it there. And in the meantime, if anyone else has a question or a topic, that was like the only agenda item that we actually had written down. So if you have a question or a topic that you would like for us to discuss or to answer, please put that in the comments. Fitzy, do you have a?
Yeah, I don't know enough to be dangerous on that. So I don't know why I was given back to her. It was looked into. I can assure you of that, and why it was. I don't know the reasons she said for leaving it. There was something confusing about that whole thing. And again, I appreciate the question because you can make assumptions, but there's reasons behind the answer, and I can tell you it was looked into. We just didn't hand a dog off to somebody that left it somewhere. We
Sure.
did our due diligence in that case, and it might not have all be kosher, and some people might be lying to us, but the dog was being was cared for, and I think somebody followed up on it after the fact. So yeah, I don't know enough, but I can tell you due diligence was done on that because we're very
Oh,
cautious.
you know what? I think I do remember that one. I think I was sent some screenshots of something and asked to look
Well, I
into
think
it, and I'm like, I don't even know what
it
you're
was
talking about. I was trying to piece it together, and I realized, yeah, that's not something that we just normally spend, 6 hours on trying to investigate. Even though I'm obviously anything, if there was any alleged animal
right,
what, it's a serious thing, but we're not going to spend a whole day trying to look into just that. It's just not really what we do. I wonder if that was the one. This was what, like a month ago? Was that it?
probably around that,
Yeah.
I think it probably started as a lost dog and people wanted to find it.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is. So
All right. Here's one from Kevin. What happened? What medical issue to the person that ran into gun shop in Cumberland?
yeah, there was an incident over there. That would be a Cumberland PD case. Our deputies were there to assist. I believe it was a medical issue. I couldn't tell you what kind of medical issue it was, so I don't know the answer to that.
Sure.
Um,
Another one, Amanda. When accidents happen and the press say that's the investigation is ongoing, is there a way to find out what happened or follow up, such as the accident that took 2 young lives between Cumberland and Highway 25? Was there a determination as the case of this crash?
sure. Yeah, that one is still under investigation. It takes the hygiene lab. If I have one complaint, the hygiene lab is very backed up on drug cases, alcohol cases, blood cases. We draw blood to see if there was drugs or alcohol in the system during a car accident. I assume we did on this case. I think that's what we're waiting for. That can take 6 to 9 months. So that's the problem when we say it's under investigation, because we don't have all the facts to make a determination on that. So that's why you see an accident's under investigation.
Yeah.
Or we can't interview somebody because they're incoherent, or they're in a coma or something like that, or they're just in a medical state where we're not going to bother them, because it doesn't matter if it happens this week or 3 weeks from now to determine the cause of an accident. Maybe it's a one vehicle accident, things like that. So the problem with that is it takes 6 to 9 months. But yes, if charges need to be filed, but the problem with a case like that is there's 2 deceased people. It's a tragedy. It's terrible. But we don't usually charge deceased people. If it was the deceased person that crossed the center line, you don't do a case on that. The deceased person passed away. It's tragic. Whether they cross the center line or not cross the center line, I have no idea. But in any case, use any example. So that's the problem with that is, yes, there's always a way. Every case comes to a conclusion, but it's very frustrating. I would agree that long time. It's very frustrating for our deputies that want to get this case off their desk. They want to bring some resolution to a family, and we get blamed. I mean, so we're the person holding the stick, and we get blamed for that, and it's frustrating for our deputies, and family members want to know what happened, and it sucks, and there's no one else to blame. They're not going to call the hospital and yell at them. They're going to call and yell at us because we're accessible.
Mm-hmm. I know we run into that occasionally. So unless there's a press release that is sent out, and we've talked about it before, some law enforcement agencies in our 6 counties that we cover do an exceptional job of keeping the public and media aware of things that are happening and sending press releases or available to take questions. Other ones just flat out suck for whatever reason. I don't think they suck. They just don't want to do it, or they just don't take the time. It's that philosophy. People that need to know already know. Who cares? Which that's weird, but so obviously we publish those as is every time that anyone sends those, and sometimes we look into a few of them, but there's reasons that we may not publish something. So the most of the times we do a original article. It's a crime in court story. It's based off of a criminal complaint and public documents, etc. Well, that also takes a while. So we've actually received some feedback. That's a nice way of saying some feedback. For some people where this is a situation where the criminal complaint is just filed, because there's a whole process that goes into this. It's not even just law enforcement. You got to do your thing in the investigation. That could be a week. It could be 3 months waiting for results, etc. Then that goes to the DA's office, and then when they get to it, that could be 3 days. It could be 3 weeks before they get to it, depending on what it is. Then they have to make a determination. Then it gets filed in the court's office. That's when it becomes public record. That's when we can use it. So sometimes we're writing a story that is actually 6 weeks old, quote unquote old. The incident happened 6 weeks ago, and it's like, well, why in the world are you just now doing it? Because it just got filed. Like, we're not just going to start printing rumors. And I heard, and my neighbor, her cousin has an Avon lady who said what she heard. Yeah, we're not doing that. So, no, it's more important, I think, for us just to be accurate. And I think a lot of times when, like, you send things out, Fitzy and other law enforcement agencies, they'll say the investigation is ongoing. First, I think that is, like, just the default thing you just put at the bottom of everything, just in case. It's like, it's always ongoing, right? Right. But really, it kind of is, and we're sharing what we can now, but more to come. Kind of like this officer-involved a shooting in Barron. You were able to share what you could share. The DOJ did a press release and then a follow-up. I'm sure they'll have another one at some point. It's going to take a while. And if there is criminal charges filed against anyone involved in this, when the DA makes that determination, it goes to the court's office. Then DrydenWire will request that criminal complaint and then do a story on it. But we won't have all that information out until all that stuff comes to fruition. So sometimes it takes a while.
Right. I'm writing a press release as we speak. We had a jet ski accident on Friday, and I don't have all the information. But there was a serious incident in this, but it says the crash remains under investigation because the lady was flown out. We haven't had an in-depth conversation with her, and it takes time to investigate this and see what's going on. So, 2 jet skis, it looks like collided. I'm waiting for the details from my rec officer who I see walking in the building. So we'll be writing that and getting that out shortly. And because we had a media inquiry about it, because you guys get our logs every day. Again, the transparency. Some people don't like that we send our logs to the media. We send all of our logs instantly to the media. Not instantly. There's a 24-hour delay because of active investigations.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. Ben doesn't like that.
I'm
If
not a
anybody,
fan of that at all,
yeah,
but whatever.
but we got burned. I mean, the media burned us during an
I
active.
know, and I'm just saying that then punish that media outlet, not the rest of us.
But it became an officer safety thing, and it showed, and we need to have protect our officers. They were doing it in live time because the call happened at like 5:55. They get the logs at 6.
6.
We're still on scene, and they're producing a news story on it on Facebook, and that's the downfalls to Facebook and the plus side to Facebook. There's very much, we argue that point a lot of times at police chiefs meetings and etc. about that. So
I know,
I
but
see
that's
now,
Facebook. But you got to look at who's behind that Facebook. This isn't just like my neighbor who's saying something, and that's all over the place. You can't control that. That's fine.
right.
But when you're a media outlet, come on, man, you can't be doing that. You got you think of the bigger picture here. It's not even about getting the story first. It's I don't know. That's just irresponsible.
Right. I mean, and that's what it is. So
Whatever.
It
is what it is.
Message. Oh, we're having a what? Well, we'll get to the Olympics in a second. Well, I got one more talk on National Night Out. I see Al Gavi's promoting himself.
Yeah.
Or that must be his kid.
Yeah, Dad also feels we're going to get slaughtered at the Spooner Hospital golf thing. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, it's not going to go well. There's Al.
Look at this. 200 prizes tonight. 200 prizes in Turtle Lake.
I'm going to have to go check how many Washburn has. And I'm thinking
there's nobody bigger than Turtle Lake. There's no one bigger than
I'm
Turtle
thinking
Lake.
That's the one. If you're going to go to one, go to that one.
I don't want to promote one over the other, but
I am. I'm not going to promote it one over the other. Go to the one that's closest to you, I suppose. But if you're looking for prizes,
maybe we shouldn't promote it. We'll just go to Turtle Lake. We'll send everybody to Rice Lake, and we'll send everybody to Cameron.
Oh, that's right. We shouldn't be telling people to go to Turtle Lake.
Dang it. You guys should go to Cameron. They got way better prizes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. It's great weather. It's going to be perfect for families, and it's just a good time. I'm supposed to promote the Olympics.
So you're supposed to promote the Olympics?
Yeah, well, we're having a watch party for Kenny. Kenny's a Rice Lake graduate, Kenny Bernark, and he's a Rice Lake graduate. We were just left the high school a little while ago for a watch party, and they're having a watch party tomorrow. So if you want to see Kenny win an Olympic medal tomorrow morning, we'll be there at, I think, I'm looking it up quick.
And who is this? I mean, what sport?
Graduate.
Yep. What sport?
And he's in the 200 finals. He's running the 200-meter dash or whatever it is, 200-meter, yeah. And he's gonna, and so he's a Rice Lake graduate. He played football in Rice Lake. He's got like 7 or 8 WIA records for track, and he's in the Olympics. He's from Rice Lake.
What?
He's a Rice Lake kid, and he's in the Olympics. So tomorrow there's a watch party at the Rice Lake High School. And I think it's 7:55 a.m. They got it set up in the auditorium.
Bridget is on it.
Oh, Bridget's on it. Good.
200-meter finals, 7:55 a.m. Central Time. I've been watching the Olympics just this week for the first time because really those first 2 weeks I just wasn't getting into. I don't know why. I'm like, why?
I like swimming and diving. That's fun. Track and field always good.
Yeah, that's good. I like beach volleyball. That's fun to watch. Yeah, there's actually been some good ones. So I'm just now starting to get into it. So I'll watch that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, 7:55. We're going to be at the Rice Lake High School. Come on down. Like I said, it was fun this morning. It was like 30, 35, I don't know, 40 people there, and everybody was cheering on. It was the semifinals. He had the second best time, and he didn't push himself very hard. So I think he's got a chance tomorrow to medal. And then he races. Yeah.
We should have him on the show. Where have you been? See, I don't even know about any of this stuff you do. You should call him today and see if he wants to come on at 7:30 tomorrow morning, right before the race.
Yeah.
Or right after. That's fine, too. I don't care. Whatever he wants.
Yeah. And then he races tomorrow night in the relay. And then if the relay, the 4x100 relay, if they wins that, then he goes for a medal on Thursday or Friday. So it's pretty exciting. He can end up with two medals as a Rice Lake kid. And
how old is this kid?
He graduated 3-4 years ago.
Wow.
So
awesome.
Yeah, so he was a great. I mean, he was a receiver on the football team, and the quarterback would just throw the ball as far as he could, and that guy would just run and get it. I mean, it was impressive. It
Wow.
was really cool to watch. So, yeah. So come down to the high school in Rice Lake. He's 22. Jody knew. I knew somebody would know. No,
Nope,
24.
21. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe it's 23. We'll say 23 plus or minus 1. How about that?
I don't know either. So,
All right.
but yeah, stop down to the high school tomorrow. It's going to be a great morning to be together for a 20-second race, but it's worth it to be there with a crowd of people. 7:55 tomorrow.
Well, I'll probably just watch it. I'm not going to come down. I have a meeting at 7 in the morning, so I won't be able to be there anyway. So, but I'll make sure that
Sure.
meeting's finished by 7:55 so I can watch that. Like, no kidding. I mean,
Or take a break for 19 seconds while he runs the race quick.
yeah, right. Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right.
So-
I have one more trivia question for you here, because we're up
Okay.
to, what did I say? Yeah, 16 points. What is the second smallest country in the world by landmass? The second smallest country in the world by landmass. I know. A, Marshall Islands. B, the Maldives. C, Monaco. Or D, Singapore.
And I'm supposed to know this. Why? Because it's the Olympics or what?
I don't know. I literally just looked up. We wanted more points, so like 2 minutes before we went live, I just Googled random trivia question, and that was the first one that came up.
Oh, well,
So I remember that's 3 points if you get it right, or I can remove one of them.
remove two of them.
Well, now you're down to 1 point.
Well, what do you
All
want?
right. How about this? I'll remove one and give you a hint.
Okay.
We'll remove Singapore.
Okay.
So we have
I would-
Marshall Islands, Maldives, and Monaco. Here, so if you get this right out of those three, that is 2 points. And here's your hint. One of them hosts an F1 Grand Prix race every year.
What are my choices again?
Marshall Islands, Maldives, or Monaco.
Monaco.
There you go. Monaco it is. That's 2, so we're up to 18. And you know what? I'll give you 2 bonus points if you can tell me what the smallest country in the world is by landmass.
I have no idea.
Oh, you should.
I don't,
It's 2 words, and the second word is city, ironically enough. Smallest country. That's right. We're not going to take points away if you don't get it.
I have no idea.
It's Vatican City. It's technically a country. It's the smallest one.
There you go.
I don't know why. I mean, don't call it a city then.
If you'd have said
Just
the
saying.
Pope would live there, I might have got it.
Right. I'm the Pope. Yeah, we're a country. I don't know how that works. All right, man.
Who could argue with him?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take you on the Pope.
So
Somebody
we
out
are. It looks like we're going to be off then for the next 2 weeks. You have something next Tuesday, and the following Tuesday is our normal Tuesday off. I think there's 5 Tuesdays this month anyway, so we'll still get our 3 shows in.
There is.
So I think so.
there. Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So we'll still have our 3 that we always do. Next Wednesday, you and I, and Dad had just mentioned that earlier, we'll be golfing. We'll take some pictures and maybe some videos or something up at Spooner for the Spooner Health golf tournament fundraiser for the Washburn County First nonprofit organization. Dad, you, my brother, and I are going to be on a team called the DrydenWire Goofballs. We actually had shirts made for that. Matt made shirts for those. So we'll get some pictures of us out there and having a good time, and maybe some live videos. So it'll be quite a while until you and I are actually back on live doing this. Anything coming up that you want to make sure outside of Night Out tonight? Anything else coming up the next couple of weeks that people should be aware of?
I know it's Hagen Fun Days coming up on the 14th and 15th. We're going to help with that. That's in Hagen. They have live music.
Makes
They have a
sense.
parade. I don't think there's anything the 21st. And then it's Rutabaga after that. And we'll talk Rutabaga when we come back on because they got some cool events and they got some great food and Cumberland Rutabaga Fest. So,
You say Rutabaga?
yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was Rutabaga.
Well, it could be.
I've heard it both ways. Say Halloween again.
Halloween, why?
Oh, okay. I remember you saying Halloween or something. I don't know. It's funny.
Whatever.
I know.
See, look, we made it to 10 after 9. I knew we could talk about something.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Holy cow. That went fast. Thanks, everyone, for actually commenting. Fitzy, any last words?
No. Be safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, see you in a couple weeks. Actually, you'll probably see us at some point or another on August 11th on Wednesday afternoon when we're golfing. But for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out at their website at indianheadcaa.org. Again, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone that has commented. That was nice of Amanda and Kirk to throw that in. Thank you guys so very much. Until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and as always, have a blessed day. Thanks, Fitzy.